Do you keep attracting men who are emotionally unavailable, non-committers, cheaters, men that don't prioritize or value you? You're not alone. And there's often a deeper hidden reason for this pattern. In this video, I'm going to share with you the reason that we can get stuck in attracting the same type of man over and over again in a different body, and how you can shift this pattern for good and start attracting high quality, emotionally aligned partners. This is a tough situation to be in, and I'm sure it's one that you're really, truly not enjoying. In fact, you've probably become pretty hopeless, or maybe even a little tainted or a little bitter about this. But also, you feel like maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe my picker's off. Maybe it's not my destiny to attract a man like this. And I'm here to tell you that's completely false. You are a beautiful human being, and you deserve to have the love that you give out returned back to you. This was my story as well. I spent decades in lopsided and painful relationships until the Mac Daddy betrayal happened and I was flat on my face, broken, homeless, with 3 children in tow. Did I finally say, what's happening here? Something's wrong. And that's when I started to look at my situation through a different lens. At some point, my second ex-husband said to me, "You're going to have 2 divorces now, and you're the common denominator." I fluffed it off at that time as the rantings of a narcissist. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then about a year later, on a quiet Wednesday, those words came into my head. "You are the common denominator." And I said to myself, well, that's got to be true because I'm the one variable that is present in all of these relationships. But how is that true? And something inside of me said, how were you treated? And so I made a list. I was disrespected. I was used. I was abused. I was not protected. I was not made a priority. I was undervalued. The list goes on. And then this voice inside my head said, now, how have you treated yourself that way? And I realized that the writing was on the wall, that I had been treating myself all those same ways. And so my energy was eking out that I'm not valuable, that I'm not enough, that there's something wrong with me, and please love me, please stay with me. And sometimes it didn't look as blatant as that, but the energy was there. And so I kept attracting partners to me that were going to reflect that back to me like a mirror. So instead of blaming them, what I started to do is take responsibility for me and my inner world, because I know that our outer world is always a reflection of our inner world. And there was something going on within me that kept attracting these type of guys. And this led me down this whole self-love journey where I started to consistently put effort towards loving myself in the correct ways. I started to respect and protect myself by setting boundaries. I started being 100% authentic with my yeses and my nos. I prioritized myself. If I had plans, I said no. I spoke up with my preferences. I didn't say yes just to be liked and to fit in or to not lose the love, which we can sometimes be so afraid of losing, because deep down inside, we think this might be our last chance. I also had extreme compassion for myself and acceptance for who I am as an individual. I started to love all the tiny pieces and parts and idiosyncrasies and nuances about me. But most importantly, I forgave myself for everything in the past that I thought was a mistake. And oftentimes, this didn't involve me hurting another person. It was forgiving me for hurting me. It was forgiving myself for disrespecting myself. It was forgiving me for not being kind to me. My self-talk was disgusting. It was nothing short of being a nasty bully. And when I started to pay attention to it, I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder why this keeps getting reflected back to me, because it's exactly how I'm treating myself. So in order to shift this whole pattern that you are stuck in, the key is self-love. I know you've heard this before, and I know that it's out in the world all over the place, but sometimes it can be very confusing and convoluted. I saw a video once that said 25 ways to love yourself.
And it's really not that complicated.
It's about respecting and protecting yourself, having compassion and acceptance for yourself. It's about forgiving yourself and giving yourself grace. It's also about positive and supporting self-talk and self-care, which means doing for you and tending to your needs. The problem is, and we are so desperate for somebody to fill that void inside of us, that we are going to continue to compromise our sacred self, i.e., self-abandon, and we're going to try to become who we think they want us to be. But what we're doing is we're hurting ourselves. And that energy, that vibration is going to attract people to us that are going to match it. So, in order to change this, we have to be willing to do the work that's required to love ourselves. And I've outlined this work in detail in my book, The Recovering People Pleaser, a spiritual guide to reclaim your true worth and attract the love you deserve. I know by paragraph 1 of this book, you're going to say, oh my gosh, this is me, because there's no new story here. Those of us that keep attracting these type of guys, we're all suffering on the inside with the same things. We don't have our self-worth in place. We're not super confident. We're afraid of losing love. We're likely afraid of being alone. We don't want to make people mad. Basically, we're people pleasers and we're overgivers. And what that does is sets us up for being narcissist bait. We're just like dangling this little doormat in front of them and they're glomming onto us because they know that they're going to be able to have their way with us because guess what? We're exuding that energy to them. If you're tired of being dishonored, it's time to honor yourself. If you're tired of being low on the priority list, it's time to prioritize yourself. If you're tired of thinking there's something wrong with you or you're fatally flawed or you've got this deep hidden shame that's running under the surface that you think you're a bad person or not good enough, it's time to forgive yourself. And all of that mixed together, what that does is it fills your worthiness cup. And a person with a full worthiness cup will show up in the world as somebody who knows their value. I'm going to tell you something. This work is not hard. It's just different because we're having to change our inner world, the way that we are wired, how we have thought about and treated ourselves. But it's 100% doable. All it's going to take is consistent effort. Like I said, I wrote the book on it. You can find the link to this in the description below, as well as many other free resources to help you reclaim your personal power and true worth. If you found value in this video, let me know in comments below. Tell me what rang true for you. Tell me what inspired you. Tell me what gave you hope. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and give me that big thumbs up. And until next time, remember, go love yourself because you matter, you're important, and you deserve beautiful love.